Ford,
Present.
Vice Chair Woods,
Present.
Chair Lewis. We
Present.
have a quorum present.
Thank you so much. If the board could review the previous minutes from the March 19th, 2025 meeting. We could take a few minutes and review them. Let's see if there's any corrections or. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Thank you. Now we'll go.
Favor.
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. All in favor? None opposed? Next, we'll go to section C for unfinished business. Let's see, we have some updates from our commission staff on the proposed ethic ordinance amendment status.
Good morning to this honorable body. Mary Parisian, Assistant Commission Counsel. Unfortunately, I stand before you with no updates. We have not heard, our office has not heard anything update-wise to provide you, but please rest assured that any information we receive, you will be the first to know.
Okay, any questions from the board?
Thank
Thank you so much for that update. Now we will move to a communication dated January 17, 2025, received January 20th from Bobby McGrew, referencing the Wayne County Sheriff's Office employee, and we'll have our Mr. Longstreet present. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the board. We're going to conduct a hearing in reference to the complaint Bobby McGrew versus Sheriff's Deputy Derek Anderson. The procedure is as follows. The complainant will have an opportunity to present any and all evidence she may have to support her claim in which the Derek Anderson violated 40-4 of the Wayne County Ethics Ordinance, use of public assets for private purposes and abuse of his authority as a Wayne County Sheriff's Officer. Upon her completion of the submission of any evidence she would like to present, the board may then ask her questions. If Mr. Anderson is represented by counsel, his counsel may then conduct a cross-examination of Ms. McGrew. After cross-examination is completed, the board may continue to ask questions if there's any follow-up. Thereafter, the respondent, Mr. Anderson, will have an opportunity to present any and all evidence he may have to negate the claims of Ms. McGrew. Upon completion of his submission of evidence, the board may ask questions to Mr. Anderson in regards to any violations they may perceive his conduct violated the Wayne County Ethics Ordinance. Thereafter, the board will have an opportunity to debate the issue. There will be deliberations, and the board at that point will make a decision on whether there's been a violation of the Wayne County Ethics Ordinance.
Looks like we're having some issues here.
Would the complainant have opportunity to ask any questions to the respondent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Ms. McGrew present?
She's present.
Yes, I'm here.
Ms. McGrew, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Bobby McGrew.
Can you spell that for us, please?
Yes, that is BOBBIEMCGREW.
And Ms. McGrew, you have come to the Wayne County Ethics Board and have filed a formal complaint against Sheriff's Deputy Derek Anderson. Is that correct?
Yes.
And your complaint alleges that there's been a violation of the Wayne County Ethics Code, specifically 40-4F, use of public assets for private purpose. And as part of your complaint, you allege that he used his power and authority as a Wayne County Sheriff's Officer to intimidate you and or other parties to act on his behalf. Specifically,
Yes.
after reviewing the evidence and the information you have provided to the board specifically has questions in regards to the July 31st, 2020 incident at your apartment complex where it is alleged that Mr. Anderson used his sheriff's uniform and or his authority as a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy to ask a third party to act on his behalf. Can you please present any evidence you may have to support that claim?
The evidence that I had sent in for that one was my leasing officer or manager. She was the one who talked to Mr. Anderson that day. And he had his uniform on as she described it and was letting me know, like, hey, somebody's looking for you. And I then later explained to her who it was. So he presented himself as a sheriff looking for me, as if like he has a warrant for my arrest or he was coming after me to arrest me. And then that's later on when the notes started to come on my mailbox.
And what evidence did you provide to the board to support that claim?
I submitted the letter from her, from Miss Melissa Merzette. That's my leasing manager. And
was
I
that
also presented pictures. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I also presented the pictures of the like little notes that was taped on to my mailbox.
Okay. And was that
And
letter
handwriting.
drafted by the apartment complex manager?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And was it signed by her?
Yes.
Okay.
She made
Does
that copy for me and I picked it up.
Does the board have any other questions in regards to any of the alleged conduct?
Yes, I have a question. I have one question. The leasing officer, is the leasing officer available to make her statement or testify on your behalf?
No, she is not. I did ask her, to present herself or whatever, but she did not want to present. She did talk to her supervisor that is over the complex, and they stated that she should not get involved, but she was able to, if necessary, go to the police station that's up the street from me and report him, as well as conduct a letter. So I just got the letter.
There is a draft letter in the
Yes.
packet.
Yeah, I've seen the letter,
Yeah.
but I'm just wondering, and then we don't follow the strict rules of evidence, but typically a witness, it bolsters their credibility if they can be present. I was just wondering, did your attorney attempt to subpoena the witness to be present, or, is it possible that the witness can be present?
I do not have an attorney. As far as subpoenaing them, I was not able to do so. I don't really know how to do all of those things.
And for this board, you don't need an attorney.
Right. I indicated we don't need that, but it does add to the credibility when a person is available as opposed to hearsay, the information that we have to rely on. But we can rely on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, just for today, we only asked the claimant and the defendant to come. We didn't ask any other witnesses to come.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. McGrath. Any other questions?
Was the letter notarized or?
The letter was not notarized.
It was not notarized.
But this, let the board know that we are not subject to the Michigan rules of evidence. Even though due process and fairness suggest that we should follow some procedures of fairness, however, the rules of evidence don't apply. So the board can take whatever weight it wants to as to the letter from the apartment manager. No, it'd be my suggestion that a third uninvolved party wouldn't just be writing letters just because. So that it had to direct that the person wrote a letter for something, and this name didn't come out of the sky. So with that being said, take whatever weight you want to the letter.
Any other questions?
I did understand that Ms. McGrew said that if necessary, that individual would be open to going to the police department and making an additional claim. Was that correct?
Is that correct, Ms. McGrew?
Yes, she was stating that if he was to come back on the premises, that she would go to the police station and report him. I didn't go back up there seeing that, I have they did issue out a warrant, and that's something outside of what we have here. That's a front of a court matter. He pretty much got this whole thing set up to where it's against me, where I feel very uncomfortable. But she did state that, hey, if you need me to go up there to make a report to the police station, she would be able to do that to keep him off of the property. But see, it doesn't help that I've visually seen him in multiple different cars,
And
and they're not there 24/7.
Ms. McGrew, just to clarify, what did he say? What did he say when he came there? Say he was looking for you, and what specifically did he say?
He stated, he asked her, did she know that she was holding a fugitive? And
He said he was holding a
yeah,
fugitive. Okay.
right, to
Go ahead.
the Lisa manager. And he was looking for me because at that time, he was trying to get the police to go into my apartment. So he asked her, did you know you was holding a fugitive? Are you able to get her out of the apartment? Just things of that nature. And she called me because at the time I wasn't there. I was with my mom. I was living with her at the time. She had called me on my phone and say, hey, are you okay? Are you and your child okay? I told her, I said, yeah, why did you ask? And she told me that he came up there with his uniform on, asking for me, and she did do a background check on me to make sure, nothing was there, because they can't do that, or I can't live there with that on my, on my background.
Right. Did he
Especially
ever
causing trouble of me living.
Yes. Did he ever represent himself as a sheriff officer at that time?
Yes, she did state that.
Okay.
That's how I well, of course, his name, but that's how I knew that she was telling the truth, because I know what uniform they wear.
Okay, I have no further questions.
In reference to the incident at Galilee Church on the date of June 2nd, 2024, are you aware or do you know whether Deputy Anderson presented himself and or was present with his sheriff's badge and or sheriff's uniform at the Galilee Church?
That particular day, he did not have on his uniform. He did state to one of the officers, as it states in that video, hey, I work for Wayne County. You could see the lady talk about, yes, I know that you work for Wayne County, but you should know how to conduct yourself. So he uses that Wayne County thing as if like, hey, I need support from you all to help me take her down. You can hear the video footage. You can hear the recording. My cousin was there to record everything, and he was calling his supervisor on the phone to try to make them arrest me, and it didn't work out well.
Did he present a badge?
I was not out there to see that badge. I only have the 2 video recordings, the statement. No uniform or anything of that nature.
Very good. Thank you.
Any further questions?
At any point, did he use a sheriff's uniform, use a sheriff's vehicle at your apartment complex? Himself,
At my
personally?
apartment?
That's correct.
No, at my apartment complex, no, he did not use a vehicle. He called the sheriff company, or I don't know how that works, the sheriff department. It was 2 sheriff policemen that came to my apartment last year.
Ms.
on the
McGrew, we
26th.
found that those officers acted appropriately.
Okay.
But did he
I'm
have
not sure of how they acted appropriately, because they're not the ones that's supposed to break down my door. That's not what the letter says. They weren't just coming to my home at all or try to attempt to enter my home. On the document from our judge, it states that Taylor Police and Macomb County are the 2 officers or 2 counties or police that can come to my home and knock the doors down. They're not authorized to do that.
any further questions from the board? Just to Ms. McGrew at this time.
Okay.
Not this.
Officer Anderson, do you have an attorney at this time to cross-examine or present a cross-examination of Ms. McGrew? Oh, very good.
If he's representing himself.
Given this climate, I would suggest that wouldn't be a good move.
Could limit it. Like a motion eliminating testimony specifically to these questions.
Given the nature and circumstance of this complaint, I would suggest that the Officer Anderson not be allowed to ask any direct questions. However, he does have counsel, or if he would like to get counsel to come in and ask questions. Most certainly, this meeting can be bifurcated, and he'd be allowed to obtain counsel to ask questions if the board finds that cross-examination is important. However, given this situation and the alleged abuse, I think that further questioning could be further abuse. So with that being said, I would not suggest that this
I
board take the
agree.
course of action to allow Mr. Anderson to ask direct questions of Ms. McGrew, as it could be seen as continued abuse, as defendants are not allowed to ask direct questions to complainants in a criminal court unless there's been a motion for them to represent themselves. But this is not that situation.
Okay, and so I would just then, because that's why I asked you earlier, if the respondent would have opportunity to question after the complainant had made her statement. So then,
If she
Yeah.
has counsel, yes.
right. Give the respondent opportunity to obtain counsel, if you like, to respond to the complaint.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Can you present that as a motion?
Yeah, I move that the respondent have an opportunity, if he desired, to obtain counsel to respond to the questions.
Is there a second to that motion of support?
Is there an amendment?
Is there support to that motion?
Yeah, it has not gone through, so
Motion failed.
motion failed.
Officer Anderson, you now have the opportunity to present any and all evidence that you may like to present that may negate the testimony of Ms. McGrew. Sir, please have a seat at the table. Hold on.
When I get done, just press push.
Please state your name for the record.
Officer Derek Anderson.
Spell that for us, please.
Officer Derrick Anderson.
Hey, Mr. Anderson, you are the respondent in the complaint of Ms. Bobby McGrew.
Yes.
And did you provide to this board a response or have you an opportunity to review her complaint and the evidence she presented to the Wayne County Ethics Board?
I sent over evidence to justify well, not justify, excuse me, that's the wrong word, respond to all her allegations.
All right, let me ask you a question again. Did you have an opportunity to review her complaint and review the evidence she submitted to the board?
Yes, I did review it.
Very good. And based on your review of her complaint and the evidence she provided to the board, did you provide a response to the
Yes.
board?
Yes, I did. I was just wondering if y'all received it.
We
I
did
did.
receive it, and we have read it, and we have also received the evidence you provided to the board in response. And thank you for your submission. Directly related to the allegations set forth in Ms. McGrew's complaint involving an incident that occurred on July 31st, 2020 at the apartment complex, did you present yourself to the apartment complex and the apartment complex manager as a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy?
In 2020, I did go speak to the apartment manager and I let her know where I worked for, but I didn't say I'm an officer and I'm trying to pick up or trying to get anything because I was an officer. I was just letting her know what where I work for. I'm not trying to be any sneaky or anything like that. So I did a lot. I did say that I was an officer. I did not have a uniform on. Only thing I did say I worked for the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, but I wasn't working, and I didn't try to use my job or anything as that or anything like that.
Now, you
excuse me.
presented yourself to a third party as a Wayne County Sheriff's Officer, is that correct?
Presenting myself to a third party, as in to the apartment manager.
Yes.
I did let her know that I work for the Wayne County Sheriff's Department.
Why was that relevant to your issue?
You said why? When I was speaking with her, and I don't know how it came about, but I did just say that's where I work for. Because that is who I work for.
Okay, if you work for the Pistons, would it matter?
I probably would have said I work for the Pistons, but I just said it. But that didn't had nothing to do with it. I just let her know.
That's the point. You being a Wayne County Sheriff's Officer had nothing to do with why you were there.
Yeah, but I'm not denying that and that did happen in
So,
2020.
sir, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
It's just a question. Understand that
Yes.
we umpires here.
Okay.
We're not on either side.
I understand.
All right. When you presented yourself as a Wayne County Sheriff's Officer to this third party, did you intend for that third party to respond to the fact you were a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy?
At that time, and I'm not sure.
Okay.
I was my only thing was I had full custody of my daughter, and I was just they went there with my paperwork, and I was just trying to get my daughter. That was it.
All right. Did you also notify this person that you had that Miss McGrew had a warrant for her arrest when you presented yourself as a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy?
In 2020, did I let the officer know? I mean, did I let the manager know?
Yes.
In 2020, yes, I did.
Okay, so you told the manager at the apartment complex that you were a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy and that Miss McGrew had a warrant for her arrest.
Yes.
And you were using your authority as a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy or presenting yourself as a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy to get this third party to respond to the fact that you had a warrant in your hand?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I wasn't trying to use my authority.
Okay. So why the fact that you were a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy even important to tell this person?
And it probably wasn't at the time.
It wasn't.
And I did meet with the internal affairs for that very reason. And I even apologized for that. And then they disciplined me already for that. And since then, I have never mentioned or tried to use my authority, not even on purpose or by accident, since then, since that incident. So I'm not denying that.
All right, sir.
So this incident was an issue with the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, and you've been reprimanded. So you admit basically that you might have abused it that day.
No, I mean,
You went through it. You said you went
I'm
through
saying,
internal affairs.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I did get in trouble for that very reason or reprimanded, or you said, what you said, reprimanded?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did for that incident, and I learned from that, and I haven't been by her apartment without any law enforcement present or separate by myself. I always had law enforcement with the court order stating that I can be there just to get my daughter. That was it.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
Thank you.
you just provided testimony to this board that you have never been to Ms. McGrew's apartment without police escort. Is that correct?
I said since that incident, I said I only go over there with my court order and law enforcement present. I don't go there by myself. I don't stalk her or anything like that. That's what I'm trying to.
So I'm sorry, is that the process to go with the law enforcement?
Yes, I'm not able to go by myself because I can.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. Okay. I
So
understand.
when she's saying that Wayne County went to her home or anything like that, that's me calling, actually Taylor Police Department mainly. I called Taylor Police Department
Okay.
and let them know I'm just here to pick up my daughter. I haven't seen my daughter in over 2 years prior to that church incident, which I tried to go up there with my court order to get my daughter, and that's the only thing I tried to do. And it was police present there, and I called. I didn't call. They called. Their supervisor came, and then they tried to help me get my daughter. And then another sergeant, came and said that my paperwork wasn't notarized, so they didn't allow me. But they did say we are aware that Bobby McGrew have a warrant, but we gonna let her go. I just didn't understand that because she has a warrant for her arrest, as I presented in my presented to you guys that she has a warrant for arrest and she's keeping my child from me. Only thing, I don't want anything from her, and it's just hard to listen to her lie over and over because I have not been trying to abuse my power. Only thing I've been trying to do is just get my daughter. That's it.
Sir,
Yes.
you provided testimony to this board that you have never been to Ms. McGrew's apartment without police escort, correct?
Since
Since what date? Since the July 30th, 2020 incident?
I can't say from that exact date, but as in when we had a court order, when the court said that I can go to, because we were supposed to be meeting at her meeting at the Taylor Police Department, and she never shows up. So when they tell me, and I had documents saying we supposed to meet at the Taylor Police Department, and when she don't show up at the police department, I try to go to her apartment with police and see if they can go in. And if you see in the paperwork that I presented you guys, it doesn't say Macomb or Taylor. It says any local police agency can go to her home.
Sir,
Yes.
you provided testimony to this board that you have not been to Ms. McGrew's apartment without police escort. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. If the board and or Ms. McGrew provided video of you circling her apartment in November of 2024, would that be inaccurate video?
Unless the police is on the way too, unless she gonna show you the video, me waiting on the police to come, because yeah, it'd be inaccurate because I'll either be outside waiting for the police to come. I also have receipts, and we could postpone, I can have an attorney, he'd be able to prove the same exact thing. I don't go over there because I know she can lie like she been doing and say anything. And she has a camera and she can say anybody driving up and say it's me. So that's
Do
why I
you
always
own
call
a
the
black
police.
Durango?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Black Durango with silver trim?
What, the Ram silver? Yes.
Okay, I'm talking about the window trim. Is it silver?
No.
Okay.
Black tint.
Okay, black tint, black Durango. Okay. And you're saying that in November of 2024, that you never circled that apartment without police escort?
Look, I could drive over there, and if I drove over there and maybe if her car's not there, I kept going, but I never just drive over there, and I always call the police if I'm about to go to her, or I never even get out the car. The police go knock on her door, and she never answers.
Okay. I'd like to direct your attention to the July 2nd, 2024 incident at the Galilee Church in the city of Detroit. Did you present yourself as a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy to get other officers of the Detroit Police Department to act on your behalf?
No, I didn't.
So you never presented yourself as a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy?
I'm saying, did I say that I work for the police department? I mean, did I work for the Wayne County Sheriff's Department?
Sir,
Represent yourself.
here's my direct question to you, sir. My question to you is, at the Galilee Church on June 2nd, 2024, did you present yourself as a Wayne County Sheriff's Department to Detroit police officers?
See, the thing is, I don't understand that question because is it saying if I'm trying to use my job as in, or
Sir, the
I'm not-
question is simple, sir, and I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to ask you slowly. Did you present yourself as a Wayne County Sheriff's Deputy to Detroit police officers on June 2nd, 2024 at the Galilee Church?
Yes.
Did you present yourself as a Wayne County Sheriff's Deputy to Detroit police officers with a arrest warrant and a warrant in your hand?
No, I did not. I did not try to direct them as a Wayne County sheriff to do that. I'm as a father just trying to get my daughter.
Okay. And I respect that. However, did you use or did you tell the Detroit police officers that you were a Wayne County Sheriff's Deputy to get them to act on your behalf?
No, I didn't.
Why was it relevant for you to tell the Detroit police officers that you are a Wayne County Sheriff's Deputy when you were there acting solely as a loving father?
You said why?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it probably just came up as in, hey, I do work for the Wayne County Sheriff's Department.
Why is that relevant?
I can't say why it was relevant. I just said, I probably said, hey, I work for the agency too. He was a police officer. I'm a police officer. I didn't say,
You're a police officer too. Help me out.
no, I didn't. I never said
Okay.
help me out.
Okay? I'm
I mean, them
I'm a
your
police
words.
officer too.
Them
Help
your
me out.
words. Them your words.
I'm just asking.
I'm not saying it. I'm telling you, no, I didn't say help me out because of that.
Okay.
But,
Sir, yes, sir.
oh, yes.
Ask you- Just
Move up to the
Just-
mic.
to his question. And I mean, it's my experience and you being an officer, you can tell me, when, state police, federal police, when police agencies, members of police agencies come in contact with one another, isn't it usually the practice to identify that? Because usually you have weapons on you, you may have a badge on you, you may have something on you, so that that other person will know that you are also in this capacity. Is that not the practice?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yes. Mr. Anderson, the issue that we're dealing with here as relates to the ethics code is whether or not you used your position as a Wayne County Deputy Sheriff to gain some undue influence that you would not otherwise have as a civilian. And so if that's so, then that means that you use your position, inappropriately to as an officer. And so for me, the question is, what in your own words, since you don't have counsel, why did you state that you were from the Wayne County Sheriff or that you were deputy sheriff?
Yes. And that's because I am emotional right now. So it was kind of hard to think, but she is correct. When you around other law enforcement, it is like appropriate, or not to say appropriate, but you do have to, I ain't gonna say have to, but you basically acknowledge that you also in law enforcement too. And plus, especially when you got a report or incident, anything that's involving other officers, you do notify them or let them know that you're an officer as well. Because I also have to let them know, my job, know that anytime I'm in contact with any other law enforcement. So yes, I did notify them, but I didn't try to use it as power because my paperwork had it for itself that I have full custody, that she has no rights. She's she has a warrant for her arrest, but she's just trying to have me lose my job because she already trying to do something to get her daughter back, which she's actually in contempt of kidnapping, because we actually go to court on 14 days from now for child kidnapping, because that's what she's doing. But I know y'all didn't ask all that, but I'm sorry, but it's just hard
Well, that's
to
the only
hear somebody
question.
lie.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, please. So
No.
on the incident where you came in contact with the building manager, you admit that you were in your uniform at that time, or you were not in your uniform at that time?
No, man, I was not in my uniform, but I did.
But you did identify yourself,
I did let her know.
and Internal Affairs is aware of that, and they did investigate,
Yes.
and they did initiate a reprimand to you for that. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Just on that point, why do you think you were reprimanded then?
Because to be honest with you, because she trying to make it seem like I'm stalking her and I'm doing all these things to her, which I don't want nothing to do. I just want my child. That's it.
Right,
And-
right. And I know
and-
that because you
and-
indicated that earlier, but
And
my
that I
question
stated
is,
that I was an officer.
okay,
And
but when you stated you was an officer, what was the rationale from your superior that was not a good idea? What was their rationale?
I guess so I can learn. I mean, basically, so I can know not to do that again. And
Why? Why not do that again? That's the whole issue. Why should you not do that again? Why not? Why was it wrong?
you saying why was it wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, because they basically think I'm trying to use my job to get my daughter back, or trying to use my, she think I got some type of power that I made her get a warrant for her arrest, and I didn't make this up. You keeping my child from me is making me making her get a warrant for her arrest, and made her lose custody of her child. So I feel like she keep on coming to my job making complaints and false complaints, and then you trying to use stuff from the past and trying to make it seem like it's new and current. I haven't even been in contact with her outside of police present or court. That's the only time I see her, and I feel like I didn't even answer your question, did I?
Yeah, you did answer. You
No, I'm
answered
sorry.
it first thing.
No, I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
Can I ask a
Thank you.
question? As far as text, nothing, but you say you haven't been in contact with her, and there's
Yes.
some texts that look like May 3rd. I don't know if that's 2024.
No, and she
So you haven't
she made
texted her in the last year. I mean, I see texts from 2018, look like.
yeah she be
so-
making fake texts. She be texting herself saying I'm texting her from a fake number, and she been trying to use that, which I haven't been texting her.
Okay, because you say you had not been in contact with her, so I just wanted to
Yeah.
answer that question.
She actually my personal number, she actually blocked that a long time ago. So she wouldn't be able to receive any texts from me. So it was no point in me texting her or calling her at all.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
There was an incident also involving Bobby's grandmother and surveillancing her, as well as an incident in a car with her aunt and her two grown children. Is that something that you recall at all?
If, I know that it sounds familiar, as in maybe back in 2017, 18, maybe, I don't know, a long time ago. And I had full custody of my daughter, and my daughter got in her car, and they took off. And I called the police. It was like, hey, they got my daughter. And then we ended up meeting up. I think it was her auntie, not her grandmother, but I could be wrong about the incident. But like I said, any incident is just me trying to get my daughter, and that's it. And I don't, and no, I know this is the ethics board, but the thing is with her, she got my daughter in homeschool, so I can't pick her up from school or anything like that. She been literally hiding my daughter for years, and then trying to get me fired from my job, which is outrageous, because I got two other kids that got a problem.
May I ask a question?
Need a break. Let's wrap this up in a few minutes.
Now I got two other kids I got to provide for. So she know what she doing, and she knows she can keep getting away with it because Wayne County don't want to go out there because I work for Wayne County. Taylor don't want to do it because my case is in Macomb, and Macomb don't want to drive all the way out to Taylor because she lives in Taylor. It's just hard that I'm sitting here and
I appreciate your emotion, but let me ask you one question. As a Wayne County Sheriff, stalking is something that you address in terms of somebody having that particular issue with an individual. Have you at any time felt that you have maybe been stalking Miss McGrew or her family, rather as a personal citizen or as a Wayne County Sheriff? Is that something that you feel you may have done because of the affection and need for your daughter?
no, ma'am. I never stalked her. I never threatened her. Only thing I try to do is do it the right way, go to court, and try to leave it up to the law. Like me.
Okay, for the sensitivity of this, let's wrap this questioning up, and because we need to come to a decision. We appreciate Ms. McElroy and Officer Derek for coming in and sharing their information about this case. It's really about the ethics. Was there a violation? And we need to stick around that. So let's, is there a motion on the table? Just one more question.
Yes. It's regarding the letter that the manager wrote.
Yes.
Was that communication between you and the manager done in an area where there were cameras? Is there any video footage of that to show that you were or were not in your uniform?
I don't know if there was any cameras in her office, but I went inside to speak to the manager. I remember speaking to her inside of her the office space or whatever, the leasing office.
And then, thank you so much. And then just for the ethics ordinance 40 dash 4F, could we have that read to us?
Yep.
40-4F, use of public assets for private purpose. A public servant shall use county personnel, resources, property, and funds under the public servant's official care and control judiciously and solely in accordance with prescribed constitutional, statutory, and regulatory procedures, and not for personal gain or benefit. All county vehicles shall be used in accordance with the county vehicle use ordinance.
Thank you.
We have a motion, I have a point of clarification. For the purpose of this particular hearing, are we looking at both issues with regard to ethical concerns, the apartment and the church? Or are we just,
Yes.
did we narrow it?
Because those are the issues in regards to whether he uses authority and or uniform, the public asset being the position and the uniform.
Okay.
So those are the two concerns of the Wayne County Ethics Board. And whether they were used inappropriately.
I thought you spoke earlier that it was only the one incident that was only on the 2020, July.
That is correct.
That's
That was the
only one
recommend.
that we can rule on today.
That is correct. That is the one I did mention because that's the one that mentions the uniform.
Okay.
I asked about the Galilee Church because it's something that came up that I thought, okay, this might be an issue for the board to look at. So I asked the questions for the board to consider the information. That's it.
So are we considering both or just
You
one?
can. You could
can.
actually consider any and all of it, but whether you think it violates the ethics code or whether there was use of public asset for a private purpose, that being the uniform and or the uniform and or the position for his own personal use. If you felt that any of this conduct that we talked about was a violation of that particular portion of the ordinance, you most certainly can rule on that, or you can dismiss it.
My view, we're gonna deliberate.
This is deliberations.
Deliberations, right?
Is that he was already disciplined in-house by the sheriff's office for violation of that particular thing. So for us to rule, we'll have to rule according to the ordinance. And the ordinance, he clearly violated it. He was reprimanded already from the sheriff's department as far as discipline. Now, if that's the only one we rule on, which is what I thought we were, then I would say that he violated the ethics on that since he's already been punished for it.
Any further comments?
I believe that given both incidents really rely on the same ethics code, that we would look at both incidents and move forward with those. I don't know if it is the rule of law here that we have to separate them, or are
No.
we allowed to look at them both together?
To me, it's a totality of circumstance.
Absolutely. So I would assume that we would look at both of them because behavior in one incident really reflects behavior across the board. And I believe that that should be something that we should have on the table and address.
So I agree with Mr. Woods that it appears that he's already been reprimanded. We would recommend forwarding it to the Internal Affairs, but for that particular one, he's been reprimanded, maybe not the second one. I'm not sure if they're aware of that one. But we could send our decision to them, just to refer it back or another direction. It's up to the
Madam Chair,
board.
do we have a conclusive report of the reprimand and what
No,
that
they
consisted
wouldn't give
of?
that to us. Yeah, we'd have to request that. And maybe, Longstreet, is that something we could request?
The board has a right pursuant to the statute to ask for additional information.
Okay. So maybe you could motion to, you guys could motion to say, based on what was provided today, looks like he's been, reprimanded. We'd like to refer it back, just get, I don't know how that would work, get that, information so we can conclude that this has been taken care of.
So my understanding is this case involves two particular incidents. One, which we are assuming at this point, actually was addressed by Wayne
Right.
County Sheriff's Department, which we don't have physical evidence of. But again, we do have a second incident that needs to be addressed and that has come before this commission that should not be written off because it is the same kind of behavior. So I would assume that that would be something we should address as well.
Okay, do we have a motion? Any more comment, deliberation, a motion, next steps?
Question, so if the determination is that the ethics code was violated in both instances, then what would the next step be? Referral to internal affairs?
The board has options.
The board has
And
options.
those options are enumerated in section
And the one is to refer it to internal affairs, right?
it's enumerated in the 40-7 6A through A through
Which section?
B4 is the board's options, And those options are, you can reprimand, you can refer back to the Sheriff's Department for action, you can make recommendations to the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. Those would be your options. And a fine up to $500.
And who would the fine go to?
The board, actually, the ordinance is silent as to that.
Oh, okay. What's the pleasure of the board?
I would definitely make a motion to address the second issue. And if the authority of this board is to refer to internal affairs, then so moved.
Question, clarification. When you say the second issue, just referring to
The church, Galilee?
Yes,
the
the
church
first
issue.
issue has been addressed supposedly, and I would definitely like some concrete evidence as to such. But yes, the second case needs to be addressed as well and referred.
the apartment.
Are referring to the second incident, talking about the June 2nd, 2024 incident at the Galilee Church.
Thank you, yes.
Okay. And your motion is to refer that to the Sheriff's Department.
I would second that.
Okay. Aye. None. Yes, do a roll call for the votes. All in favor, Sahim?
Aye.
Maria?
I'll call the roll.
You'll call it? Okay, she'll call it.
Ms. Muhammad,
Aye.
Ms. Schaefer,
Aye.
Dr. Ford,
Negative. No.
Vice Chair Woods,
No.
Aye.
Chair Lewis.
Okay, the motion has been properly moved and second and approved. Thank you for your time, Mr. Anderson. You are dismissed. And Ms. McGrew.
both matters be referred to Sheriff's Department.
Okay, thank you.
The second one,
Second
but we want evidence for the first one.
Evidence for the first, got it.
Okay, new business, any new business?
Excuse me. If her motion can be amended, because she didn't state that she wanted the evidence from the first to be submitted to us, so can we restate that motion, adding that?
Okay.
I
Just
would
for
like
clarification?
sure, I would like the evidence from the first case of July
31st, 2020.
July 31st, 2020 to be admitted to this commission. And in terms of the reprimand that was currently at the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, and that the second incident of July 2024,
That'd be June 2nd, 2024.
excuse me, June 2nd, 2024, be addressed and properly referred to Internal Affairs.
And I do want to make one correction for the record. The penalties and the options for the board are enumerated under 40-10.
40-10.
40-10 of the Wayne County Ethics Board.
Thank you.
And
That
excuse
clear-
me, Member Mohammed, do you support that motion?
I do support it.
Thank you.
Do we need to vote again?
It is up to you.
Me, I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay, new business.
Yes, please vote.
Yes.
Oh. Yes, vote
Member
again.
Mohammed?
There's an amendment on the motion, so there needs to be a vote on the amendment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Member Mohammed?
Yes.
Member Jafer?
Yes.
Dr. Ford?
No.
Mr. Woods?
No.
Chair Lewis?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, so we are done with that. We can move on to new business, section D of the agenda. Is there any new business?
We did receive a complaint from a citizen in regards to the actions at the Wayne County Jail. Those matters do not involve the Wayne County Ethics Board. I will provide notice to the complainant that those issues do not involve the Wayne County Ethics Board. We do not have subject matter jurisdiction over the matter, so this matter does not have to be presented to the board at all. However, we do need to provide notice that we received that.
Okay, thank you for that. For May, I will be traveling. My co-chairman Woods can run that meeting, but hopefully we'll have a quorum. But if not, I guess I'll see you in June for that. So we'll see what happens with that. Are you available?
Sure.
You're not
I
sure?
don't think I will be.
Okay.
What the date is.
All right, we'll work on that May date.
Yeah.
More to come on. Such other matters as that be properly submitted to the board. I think you talked about that. Any public comments?
I won't be here. I'll be in Orlando.
You're in Orlando?
What meeting?
May.
May?
The
And I'll be
21st.
in Colorado.
Yeah.
And I'll be in Greece. Visiting.
I'll be in Detroit.
There's no way. Right, right. Okay, we'll talk offline. Let's see, public comments. Do we have any?
There's no one on Zoom wishing to make a public comment and no emails were received.
Okay, thank you. And
Anyone present?
Anyone present in the audience who would like to make a public comment?
does anyone want to make a public comment in the audience? Okay. All right, well, we move to adjournment.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? I know you want to join the meeting, adjournment.
All right.
All right. Take care. Thank you so much.
All right.
Great meeting.
Please.
Mhm.